I know what you're thinking. Does he have any other shirts besides black long sleeves? The answer is that's none of your business. No, I do. I just wear them for work. Uh, that's not what you're here about. But I thought I'd make it funny. If it was funny, great. If not, whatever. Moving on. So technically this is day 2, but I'm marking it as day 4 on my preview chart or my video log. So take that for what it's worth. We got a whole bunch of new spoilers. Got a couple transform cards. The final intro pack rares until they decide to bring back intro packs again, because intro packs will be going away for the time being replaced with the Planeswalker decks, starting with Kaladesh. So yeah, Shadows over not Shadows. Eldritch Moon is the last time we're getting both intro packs and fat packs. The fat packs one I'm unfortunately sad about, because I don't usually have the money to get a full box, and I can't always make it to a pre-release. So that fat packs for me were a great way of just getting cards at points. But yeah. So talking about the cards today, we have one special note though. Last night there was one extra card spell called Unsubstantiate. It is a 1 blue, 1 generic instant spell which returns target creature or spell to owner's hand. Now, the creature, it's a bounce spell, so bounce spells usually aren't bad, but at the same time, it's still just kind of generic. The spell thing is what throws me off, because, one second, I'm just getting my thing. Okay, there we go. That way I can have images up. MTG Realm. No, wait a minute, that's not right. There we go. But it's a kind of, I don't know, the spell, because to basically specify spell more or less is basically saying that, yeah, you're playing the card. I'm not countering the card, but you're playing the card, and I'm going to do something for that. So for me, that just seems odd. But moving on to today's spores, and the one I highlighted as the centerpiece of the actual tab in the video, we have Docent of Perfection. We went from Delver Secrets to a Horde Aberration, and now we go from Docent Perfections. Oh no, a Horde. Oh wait, so I'm trying to remember exactly how it went. It's do they specify the chart more or less here? No, they don't. But okay, if I'm trying to remember, it's Delver Secrets, or was it something Scientist Delver Secrets? Then it goes that thing into Horde Aberration. Now we got Docent of Perfection going into Final Iteration. And essentially, in 1 second, get my phone up there for everyone to see and wonder. So obviously inverse, but there are the cards. I know it's because it's really hard to make out the Final Iterations card. At least on the phone. Even on the card itself, it's kind of hard to see what's going on back there. But essentially, it's the same stats as its last form, the 5/4 for 3 generic, 2 blue. Now we've upped the rarity again to a rare card. It's flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token into the battlefield. Then, if you control 3 or more wizards, you transform it. Right off the bat, that is a solid card worth the rare slot. Its stats are great for a 5/5 or costing 5. It's being a flyer. It's there we go. Its ability is very relevant, especially when you're using like a lot of small drops, especially with some of the small drops we have available today. And then when you transform it into a 6/5 flying Eldrazi insect. Wizard you control get +2/+1. So basically you're turning the Delvers, I believe it's Delvers, yeah. Delvers into F-Horde researchers with flying and have flying. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you put a human wizard creature token into the battlefield. Now it not only becomes a generator, a big-ass generator, a generator that's easy to get off in really the long scheme of things when you think about it, but also you now can generate more and pump all those generators up. This thing is going to be a beast in just about any format it's in, because it meets all the stat requirements. A 5/4 flyer for 5 very easy to accommodate. Then you have an added ability on that. It's just a solid card overall, I think. I forgot to mention, there's no new meld cards today, but I forgot to mention with meld that meld actually works extremely well. A lot of people did point this out with Commander. Commander is, I think, actually the area where meld, I think, is going to find its place to shine, because Commander is about singles. So if you could devise a deck around meld with a bunch of different cards, colors, things along those lines, you could, in theory, have a good meld deck in Commander. Moving on, we have Grizzled Angler. I'm a Grizzled Angler. There's no question that these waters are treacherous. If there's one thing I've learned in all my years, flip to its other side, is that the lure of the sea is impossible to ignore. I get it, because he's the fisherman, and then his head is the lure for the giant colorless Eldrazi anglerfish. As for the stats, it's a 2 generic, 1 blow, 2/3. Put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard. If there is a colorless creature card in your graveyard, transform this creature into the Grizzled Anglerfish. Tap 6 generic creatures your opponent control. Attack this turn if able. It's a 4/5. It's a lure ability. Neither of these, it's not a terrible card, especially for the mana cost. I mean, it's 3 mana for a 2/3, which turns into a 4/5. That's value in its own right, but it's definitely on the weak, especially because you need a colorless creature in the graveyard. So I know there are colorless creatures in this deck that aren't transformed, like that. The Griff. 1 second, actually. It's one back. What was it? The Eldrazi that had the Emerge on it. Just taking a little bit to load that. Point being, well, there it is. Okay, so where is it? And actually, yeah, it's a good point. Where the hell is it? I know it's here. Hold on. Okay, come on. Stop moving. And emerge. Dawn Griff, Wretched Griff. There, no, that's not it. Where they don't have it. Okay, it's Wretched Griff. That was the name of it. That's the important thing. I don't know why it's acting weird on me. So anyway, but overall the card's just sort of meh. Then we get on to a decent transform card. But mind you, these are all transform cards. These aren't, or double face transform cards. These are not meld cards. So then we have Lone Rider. Oh, my friends know the Lone Rider. 1 generic, 1 white, 1/1. First strike and lifelink. It's a human knight on a horse, and at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life during that turn, transform Lone Rider into it rides as 1. And I like the line to text. Horse and rider are often of 1 mind, but until this morning I've never seen them of 1 body. So you get the horse and you get the rider, and it's kind of horrific. 1 second. So artwork. So there you start off as this noble man and noble steed, and then you turn into of 1 body. It rides as 1, which becomes, by the way, a 4/4 first strike trample lifelink. A very solid card. Very stats wise, it's a very good card. And its ability, its lifelink ability or transform cost is nothing hard to do. I mean, you're not going to get this maybe on turn 2, but 3 or 4 is not unreasonable given some cards. Like that, what was it? Unbalanced Alliance, something like that, or Holy Alliance. That module card, the Escalate card I showed earlier yesterday. But we'll see. I mean, I think if I got it and I was in white, I would definitely use it. That's for certain. Because white is definitely the one that lends itself to the most life gain. Then we have all the intro pack rares, the final intro pack rares. So starting with the white one, we have a 3 generic, 1 white, 2/3, known as Sanctifier of Souls. It's a human cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may give Sanctifier clerics +1/+1 until the end of the turn. You may pay 2 generic, 1 white, exile a creature from your graveyard, put a 1/1 white spirit token creature spirit creature token with flying into the battlefield. So, I mean, this is the intro pack version of him. I'm certain he might have some alternate art and some art. But it's like, yeah, I'm all holy and shit. Ooh, yeah, summon the spirits to fight the Eldrazi. Which actually does make you wonder, because we haven't seen any cards that indicate that they're affected yet. If spirits can be corrupted by Emrakul as well. I'm guessing no, because Emrakul deals with the biological component of it, and spirits are not biological at that point. I think that's why Liliana is also probably considered the last hope, because the undead at that point, they don't give a rat's ass. They still obey her no matter how much you warp their physiology. As for the card itself, it's a solid card. For 4 mana, 2/3 is not terrible. Anytime a creature enters the battlefield, it basically becomes at least a 3/4. And you can do that while siphoning out your graveyard and get another creature with no more bodies. So overall, it's an okay card. The intro pack rares are rarely ever amazing. They're usually playable, at least in the pre-releases. Then we have the blue one, Nimbus of Frost, 2 generic, 2 blue, 3/3 flying. So right there, it's a solid card. Prowess makes it an even better card, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, tap target creature or an opponent controls. That creature does not untap during its controller's next untap step. And here is the card. I do like the artwork on this card. This is a very spooky, eerie looking card. And it's a very powerful card too. It's very cost effective. 4 mana, 2 blue for a 3/3 flying with prowess. Automatically you'll make it a 4/4 every turn as long as you're playing a card plus getting the card's effect. So right there, that's playable. And then you have the added bonus of tapping shit down. Yeah, right now this is the most playable of the 5. That's something I definitely play if I get it in the pre-release. Then we have Newscraft Mob. Now this is a 4 generic, 2 black zombie 0/0. But it enters the battlefield with 5+1/+1 counters. Whenever a player casts a spell, remove a +1/+1 counter from Newscraft Mob. If you do put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play, and there is the card. So, I get it. There's one zombie, which is the zombie you're having, but he's got this mob with him that, if they throw spells at him, the zombies come to aid him in there. And as for the card, it's expensive. That's the thing. It's 6 mana. That's a bit a hefty cost, but you're getting 5 bodies technically. Actually, theoretically, it's a very unique card in the sense that you can strategize around it so long as they're not playing cards to counteract that. But it's very hit and miss. You're getting 5 bodies altogether, but it's at the rate you're getting those 5 bodies is the problem. It's the rate that is I think the issue with this card, because your opponent, it's not just off your spells. If it was just off your spells, you could do a lot of shenanigans with this. But it's off of your opponent's spells as well, and your opponent's almost always going to be playing a card every turn. So you're going to be lowering your 5/5. You're going to, in the long run, you're going to be getting value unless he's throwing out burns or just blockers that it's not going to matter. But I don't know. To be fair, I might be a little biased because I'm not a big black fan. So, but we'll see what happens. Then we have Assemble the Alphas, a 5 generic, 1 red, 5/5 wolf creature. Whenever Assemble the Alphas blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, Assemble the Alphas deals 3 damage to that creature and 3 damage to that creature's controller. There is always a toll to pay for the passage, and here is the art for that one. Just got a bunch of alpha wolves there. Just yeah. Oh crap. My bad. Hold on. There we go. I got a bunch of alpha wolves there. Yeah. Looking badass. 5/5 for 6, generally speaking, would just be a decent vanilla creature, big blocky creature. Blocks or becomes blocked, that's different. This thing becomes definitely a threat because 3 damage, it won't destroy a lot of the higher up stuff. Like, it's not going to destroy it's not going to destroy anything with 4 power or more, or toughness or more. But that's not the point. It's the fact that it not just deals damage to the creature, which honestly, to be fair though, the only creatures that would survive this card's attack and effect would be anything with a toughness of 9. So Bracella survives him barely. Yeah, actually, and Emrakul survives him. Not barely. Unless you got 2 on the field, then in which case, and you work some shenanigans out. Shenanigans are always fun. I love shenanigans. But overall, though, I mean, besides right now, besides the ones we know of, Bracella and Emrakul. This thing will more or less take out anything it blocks and anything that blocks it, and does an extra 3 damage. So for a big, meaty, fat creature, this is a pretty solid card. Give it flying, and then you got a powerhouse right there if you got flying on it. And our green one, a tree folk. Ulvenwald Observer. Forgive me if I mispronounced that name. Ulvenwald, I believe it is. 4 generic, 2 green. Whenever a creature you control, it's 6/6. Whenever a creature you control with toughness 4 or greater dies, draw a card. And spooky art. Actually, it is a little bit. I always dig into shroud art, man. But yeah, overall it's a fun, okay card. It's probably honestly no, I'd say the white one's the weakest, simply because its stats. While it's able to make flyers, its stats, it's very easy to kill. The wolf kills it easy, dead, no problem. In fact, most of the other cards that we showed right here can take out that thing. And yeah, you can make buys with it, but unless you've got the protection or just enough creatures to pump out spirits, and they're not going to be overwhelmed, it's not going to mean much. Whereas this guy's at least got enough bulk that if he dies, or if something dies on the field with power toughness 4 or greater, at least it will mean something. Last 3 cards, and this is where I meant that we get to the little cards. First off, there was a card spoiled, I think, on Twitter. Influence Emrakul, 2 generic, 2 green, enchantment uncommon. Every time you cast an Eldrazi creature spell with a confirmed modcast of higher than or equal to 7, draw 2 cards. Obviously, the story element depicting a moment in the story. Trying to see, we got Liliana, Nahiri, there's Jace, there's Gideon. No, we don't have one. Sorry, Chandra, Nahiri. Sandra, Nissa, Gideon, and Jace. And they're just getting overwhelmed by these Eldrazi monstrosities. But then we have the two new cards, not one drops, but cards that they're card type. They've existed before. One of the big ones was from Cold Snap, if you remember them. Essentially, we have Galvanic Bombardment, 1 red, instant, deals X damage to a target creature where X is 2, plus the number of cards named Galvanic Bombardment in your graveyard. So at most it deals 5, but still, it's one of those cards that. It's very useful. It's a shock right off the bat, then it turns into a lightning bolt, then it turns into, I think, a flame slash instant speed, and then it turns into something that does 5 damage to a creature at that point. So very solid card, very good card. Then take inventory. 1 generic, 1 blue. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named take inventory in graveyard. Again, you can draw up to 4 cards by the end of using it. But it's a card draw, so it's solid all around. Card draws are never bad. So 1 second, and then whoop, and there's the art. So yeah, take inventory is blue, and obviously Galvanic Bombardment is the red one. So solid cards. They'll be good for limited play. They'll be good for constructed play. I think they'll be good for overall play. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I have no plans for anything else today, but stay tuned tomorrow for stuff. So thanks for watching. See you.